be creating an amortization table. This company purchased a party barge costing $85,700 with a down payment of $20,000 and financed the balance, the difference between the two. They finance it at 8% for 4 quarters. Find the payment and construct an amortization schedule for the first 2 quarters. So we know that the payment is the loan amount times the number from the table. The amount financed, that's the first thing we need, is the difference between these two numbers, between the cost and the down payment. We found it to be $65,700. And so now the payment, finding the periodic payment, we take the amount that was financed, or the loan, $65,700, and we're going to multiply it by the number from the table. The number from the table, since we have 4 quarters, we have an 8%, so 8 divided by 4 will give us 2%. So we look at the table 2%, and the period is 4. So let's look at the table. This is part of the table. So the period is 4 and the interest is 2%. We found this number 0.26262. So we multiply the amount that was financed, or the loan, 65,000, by this number. We find that the monthly payment is $17,254.13. Now let's construct this table for the first 2 payments. So at the beginning, number of payments 0, but the loan is $65,700. So the payment is monthly payment is the same, $17,254.13 for both months. So for this first payment here, the interest is 2%, because for each one period, 2% interest on the whole amount that was already given for a loan. So since the bank gave this $65,700 for the first period or first month, they paid, you take this number, multiply it by 0.02, and you find the interest to be $1,314. So we take this number here and subtract it from the payment, and what's left, $15,904.13, is the portions that went to the principal. Only this portion went to the principal, even though the payment was $17,254, because we pay interest for that first payment, first month. And so the principal at the end of the period is what's the difference between the loan amount that was before minus with the payment, the portion of that went to the principal. So 65,700 minus 15,904.13, we end up with 49,759.87. So this is the principal at the end of the period, the first after the first payment. So again, make another payment. From this payment, part of it is going to go for interest and part is going to go toward the principal. Since the last amount that was at the principal, I mean the loan, was $49,759.87, we're going to find the interest based on this amount, that means multiplied by 0.02, and we find 995 is interest. Subtract that from the payment, and what's left is the portion to the principal. This portion went toward the principal. And now what's at the end of this period, that means you take what was before at the principal minus what went toward the principal, $16,258.93, and what we have here left is $33,594 is the principal at the end of the second payment. And I hope this was helpful.